we had kind of a funny incident last year regarding the line of dialogue. I used the example, if the line of dialogue is Bob is not coming tonight, it can't be Bob isn't coming tonight. It needs to be verbatim. And that got interpolated to mean that there can be no contractions in your script, which is not the case. Someone actually wrote a script without contractions. And if this wasn't hard enough, kudos for pulling it off, but it's just so unnatural. But the line needs to be verbatim. It needs to either appear on screen. It can be, a line in a song, preferably spoken. I've seen it spoken by 4 different people. I mean, the sentence was completed. 4 people said it, and it was, in order and verbatim. So you can be very clever with it, but it needs to be verbatim. Subtitles count. Well, you get foreign movie or silent movie, it has to be. The prop. I'm going to be putting together the screeners for this on my laptop. So I'm going to be looking at everything about yay big. Make it visible. We had a team a couple of years ago. I was ready to, disqualify them. Screen them, obviously, but disqualify them because the prop was a helmet. And I was looking and I could not find it. I'm like, okay, I'm not eligible for judging. I get to the screening. There's a bicycle in the back of a warehouse. There's a helmet hanging off of the handlebars. So if I'd have been in the bathroom or out buying some popcorn or something, they'd have been gone. Make it visible. It doesn't, the prop doesn't need to be a central part of the story. It just needs to be there.
What's the prop?
You will find out in about 31 minutes. The character needs to appear on screen, and their name needs to be, audibly heard or seen visibly, and their occupation needs to be obvious. Actually, some good friends of mine in 2006, second year, I had to disqualify them because they talked about the main character all the time, constantly throughout this movie. Never appeared on screen once. They could have even, they were doing Cop Detective. They could have.
Does it have to be in living flesh, or can it be you see the person in a picture?
I've seen it in pictures, I've seen illustrations, but that person needs to appear on screen and be identified as the person in question, and their occupation needs to be explained. And again, the character doesn't need to be your main character or anything like that. It just needs to be a part of the story. Yeah, it'll be first and last name. And then we have an option for male and female variations on the name. One of the city winners last year, Greensboro, North Carolina. They had both characters in there. It was father and daughter. So, it doesn't get you any extra points or anything, but it was clever. Prop, character, dialogue. Covered. If you aren't connected to the Facebook page or the Twitter feed, I got this handy little app that allows, the films are due in 2 days, 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 49 seconds. It's called Countdown. And it allows me to share it to my Facebook and Twitter page. So Seattle 48 HFP, Twitter. It'll be there. But 7:30 p.m., the moment that starts buzzing, your film's late. It will be screened, and it will be eligible for audience awards. But 7:30 and 1 second, and it's late. I got a lot of grief last year. There were 2 teams that literally, I'm going to lock that door down there, process everyone, and then the late people will process them as well. But 2 people ran up at 7:30:02. So it is late. We are that serious about it. You know, a tip that I sent out, make a master of some sort at 3 p.m. on Sunday, no matter what state it's in. Just make sure you have something that you can turn in. And be safe. I mean, I can't stress this enough. We used to, you know, do this kickoff and drop off at the Seattle Film Institute over on 23rd and Madison. And 23rd can be a pretty busy street. And one year, it was either first or second year, I literally saw a car rolling by on 23rd, door open up, and someone tumbled out of a moving car. They made it on time. They didn't even need to do that. They had like 5 minutes to spare. Yeah.
Can you tell us exactly what time you have so we can synchronize our...
That's a good idea.
Well, I'll go over that a little later, but it's 6:28 right now. So be safe. And one thing, this is my favorite story from last year. Make things easier on yourself. Actually read the technical specs that I've provided for how to turn something in. Last year, someone handed me an AVI file that I managed to open up in QuickTime. AVI files are fine, as long as you're using the right codec. I'm mastering everything in Final Cut, and I can make just about anything work. But if I have to work too hard, I am authorized to, you know, boot you and ask you for a new file, which will make you late. But last year, I got an AVI file. It opened in QuickTime. I had garbled audio and no video. They encoded this with a codec I've never heard of. I've heard of most of them. So I went to Google and I typed in the name of the codec. 0 results. A Google search with 0 results. Has anyone ever had a Google search with 0 results? Don't do that to yourself. You know, we don't want MPEGs. We don't want MP4s. Save yourself a lot of time. Don't turn in an H.264 QuickTime file. It takes forever to encode. DVC Pro, either NTSC or DVC Pro HD, they're great, they're lightweight, and they look better than H.264. Yeah, they're bigger, but they encode a lot faster. So,
is it AVI on there?
AVI is, but those codecs should be available for just about any Windows program. You know, thumb drives are great. We love them. Makes my life a whole lot easier come Sunday at about 9 p.m. when I start making this stuff.
For your Mac?
No. And one thing at the drop-off, it's going to be, you know, fairly nice out. No laptops are going to be allowed up here. So if you're burning a DVD, you're going to be doing it outside. Because people have tried to slip under the radar, and that's just not fair to everyone who gets their stuff in on time. So burn out in the parking lot. Yeah?
How do you want to label the material? The actual hard drive or DVD?
What's that?
How do you want to label the
Please don't bring a hard drive in.
How do you sorry, the thumb drive?
Well, I actually, if you bring a thumb drive in, I actually have envelopes for thumb drives this year. They gave that as part of my package, which was cool. You know, just label it, if it's a mini DV tape, you know, just write team name, title, genre, you know, phone number, email. Name of the film, too.
That would help.
Yeah. Just, you know, make it blindingly obvious what it's all about. You won't insult me. Okay, so, yeah, are there any teams that haven't signed in yet?